Vanakkam, Namaste, and blessings to everyone across the globe. This is Dr. Bhairavi Balasubramaniam, and today I'm going to be speaking to you about key astrological transits between now and the 1st of August. I call this next 16 days the season of shifts. Now, I've been telling you now for a few months through my writings and my videos that we are all going to be experiencing a collective shift, a collective transformation which will anchor a new consciousness, a new understanding or perception of reality. This is when these shifts are truly happening and taking place from the astrological perspective. If you look at the motion of planets and asteroids and such, in the next 16 days, we are going to see 6 planets moving into different signs and 2 planets moving in different directions. This is a very, very intensely concentrated motion of celestial energy. And I'll give you the details of when everything is happening as well as an overview of what all of this means. All of us have been experiencing the energies of the Grand Cardinal Cross involving Aries, Libra, Cancer, Capricorn obviously, and also the energies of the Grand Water Trine involving Chiron, Saturn, and Jupiter. All of these energies have made us feel for months that we are not in control of our destinies, that external forces have been forcing us to make certain changes, adaptations, and forcing us to evolve. Many of us have found ourselves in the pit of victim consciousness, though some have managed to rise above this and see themselves as the creators and makers of their own destiny. But for those of us who are still struggling with the idea of the universe hasn't been very, very kind to us for the past few months, and please will it get better, this season of shifts is not going to be easy for you. This is basically where we reset. This is where we clean out the last of the debris. This is where we shift energies from an emphasis on water and emotions and intuitions to an emphasis on fire, action, assertiveness, and going forward and actually making those changes happen. We see a powerful movement of energy that enters the sign of Leo with Jupiter, the Sun, Mercury, and so on and so forth. And with this energy of self-expressiveness and assertiveness coming to us now, we are going to be challenged to put to work the lessons which we learned in the past few months. This is the time to rebuild our lives. But it's not going to be easy or pleasant for a lot of people. It may not necessarily be a peaceful time because looking at the skies, we're going to have a powerful tension or a square aspect between Leo and Scorpio with the Sun, Jupiter, Mercury, and later Venus, and also Mars conjunct Ceres, Vesta, and the North Node in Scorpio itself. So it's not going to be an easy ride out of the quicksand, you could say. I mean, imagine being stuck in quicksand. You're kind of stagnant for a while. You've learned how to not shift the boat too badly. And then all of a sudden, you get a rope, you get a lifeline, and then you use the last burst of energy that you have to quickly pull yourself out. That's the kind of energy that most, if not all of us, will be experiencing in the next 16 days in this season of shifting. Now, as an overall theme, and I will be talking about this later, we're going to see that August is very much about acknowledging and healing different aspects of the divine masculine or the masculine energetic archetype. It doesn't just talk about men, it talks about the masculine archetype in women and other people, in beings, in the planet, even in the ways in which we manifest masculine energies in the structures which we have chosen to govern us at this time. So, all of this is probably way over everyone's head right now because this is coming in the future. But we are building up towards this movement, towards honoring and healing the masculine through all these energetic shifts and transitions. Now I'm going to get a little technical and I'm going to tell you more as a list of what's happening. Don't worry if you can't take in all the information at once. Your subconscious mind is listening, and I will be talking about these in videos and articles on my Facebook and WordPress page as we go through and meet each of these transits. Now today we've already had Jupiter going into Leo. The reason why most of us are not celebrating this transit with top hats or party hats and whatnot is because we're feeling the intense pressure of a T-square. This T-square involves the Sun, the North Node conjunct Mars, Ceres, and Vesta, and also the South Node. Now, with a T-square, basically, we get half a square. We have a very, very focused concentration of tense energy, and this point of focus is at the Sun right now. So this is happening, and this may actually explain why a lot of us are actually feeling rather grouchy or stagnant or just not quite ourselves. That also happens when you have a major transit of a major planet as Jupiter is doing. So there are two reasons as to why you may not be feeling as upbeat as the energies of Jupiter in the sign of Leo might suggest. On the 18th, we have another interesting and very, very energetic alignment. We have the Moon conjunct Uranus in Aries, trining Lilith, the suppressor dark aspect of the feminine. And later that day, on the 18th, we have Venus entering Cancer. Now, I've seen in other astrological reports that Venus is somehow being downplayed at this time. I would respectfully disagree. Her role in birthing this new reality cannot be underemphasized for reasons I will explain when I get to the 1st of August. Now, on the 19th, we have Mercury trine Neptune retrograde, and we are sort of seeing the start of an intense T-square as well between the Moon, the Sun conjunct Jupiter, and all of those planets and energies in Libra as well. Again, we see another T-square around the 19th, this time involving the Sun and the Moon and Jupiter, as well as Mars and co. We have the official squaring off of Sun squared Mars on at 2:20 p.m. on the 19th. On the 20th, shortly after that, about 24 hours after that, Saturn ends its retrograde. It'll take some time before it wakes up, so to speak, and takes on its usual energetic form. On the 21st, we have Uranus going retrograde. On the 22nd, we have Mercury opposing Pluto retrograde. On the 23rd, we have Sun in Leo. And on the 24th, we have the Moon trine Mars. Now Mars is still being squared by Mars, and the planets around it are still being, or asteroids rather, are still being squared by the Sun and Jupiter. So you've got a lot of energy once again coming into that square between Leo and the tail end of Libra. Now, on the same day, we have Venus trine Neptune retrograde, and beginning the 24th to the 26th, most of us will be feeling very, very intensely a grand water trine. This grand water trine will be formed between Mercury, Chiron retrograde, Saturn, and the Moon. So this will be a very intense time with very, very different kind of energies coming at us from all parts of the heavens. On the 25th, we have Sun conjunct Jupiter, but on the same day, we have a kind of the Moon in a bridging role between Mercury and Venus, and all of these energies are opposed Pluto. So again, it's not normally one would be celebrating a Sun conjunct Jupiter event, but at this time we also see that it has other challenges that require us not to focus so much on the celebration aspect, but to rather take the energy and the wisdom of Sun and Jupiter to address other aspects of our emotional and intuitive development. Remember, water energy is generally connected with those aspects of ourselves. On the 26th, we have Mars entering Scorpio. This will be a major shift where the energy of our assertive, almost aggressive drives, our ability to simply go forward and acquire what we desire, our expression of masculine energy will move into a very, very intense sign, that being Scorpio. And that energy in itself, even if none of this was happening, that would already be a pretty intense place to have Mars in the first place. The 27th, we have the new moon. Now, this new moon is quite special. Despite, or rather through all of this energetic alignment, reshuffling, and roller coaster riding, we're going to have the Sun and the Moon at 3 degrees Leo and Jupiter in conjunction at 2 degrees Leo. So this despite everything that you might be feeling, despite all the the active chaos that one might be feeling at this time, all of those circumstances and those energies that you may be feeling, you need to respond to, you need to act, you need to go, you need to do, you need to be. In the midst of all of this, you've got Jupiter saying it's all good. The blessings of and the wisdom of the teachers of the past, be they gurus or siddhas or mentors, however you want to term them, or in fact the guru within each and every one of you guiding yourselves on your spiritual journey, that teacher is there to help you through this phase, through this powerful new moon. Now that's not the only thing happening that day. We have some very, very powerful Yod energies that are happening on the same day due to the position of the moon. I'm not going to go into too much detail. And on the same day, we have to remember once again, this new moon will be in a square or a tense aspect to Mars in Scorpio. Fine. Well, we're getting towards the end of it. We've got Venus opposing Pluto retrograde on the 28th. And again, very, very intense yacht energies between Moon, Saturn, and Uranus retrograde on the 30th and 31st. We have Vesta, the asteroid goddess, the goddess asteroid associated with priestessing and tending to the hearth or home. She basically moves into Scorpio as well. And finally, we get to August 1st. August 1st is when Mercury, the communicator, the bridger of worlds, also moves into Leo and begins to assert itself, or rather to seek to assert itself in balance with the very, very powerful energies of Mars in Scorpio. And that's not all. On August 1st, we will also have a grand trine, which I truly consider to be the birthing of our manifestation of all of these energies in a more solid material form. And that occurs through a powerful grand trine between Saturn direct, Venus, and Chiron retrograde. So expect the next 16 days to be very, very intense. Remember, we're all pulling ourselves out of what we have perceived to be quicksand. So this is the time to act, to move, and to go. The energies of August will be very, very active and vital. It is a different chapter in our collective evolution, and one which I hope will inspire you to greater heights or deeper levels, whichever way you want to put it. So be kind to self, be kind to others, and don't worry if you're feeling unusually grouchy. People sometimes do that when major shifts and transits come so closely in succession with one another. Blessings to all, and I will see you next time. Thank you so much. Goodbye.